I'm back talking about this secret church text that I just found by Origen, the origin of the Christian religion. He actually is. He's like the oldest. But I can only get it in Latin, but it was written in Greek. I think the Catholic Church didn't like it very much. So there's a prophecy. He says, "If I turn around your divinations, if I cause your lies to fall silent, then you will know that I am Lord." This is the first prophecy. I don't want to read the next part. I got to keep going. All right, so there follows another prophecy which is introduced as follows. "And there came to me men from among the elders of Israel, and they sat down before my face. The word of God touches on all things and leaves untouched no category among the ranks which have been established in the church. Rather, in going over everything brief, he shows his desire to heal everyone. As for example, now he is saying some things to the presbyters." I think those are the pastors. "For the words that came before were spoken to the teachers. For this reason, let us examine what is said concerning the pastors, searching out our very selves, so that none of us will be sort of presbyter that is laid out in what follows. And there came to me men from among the elders of Israel, and they sat down before my face, and the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, let us look at the accusation, so that we may be able to know whether we may detect the fault in ourselves. Or did those men not focus their own thoughts in their own hearts, and place punishment of their own iniquities before their own faces?" Iniquities are like sins, or like your like bad actions. "Shall I answer them? Blessed are the pure in heart. For those who have a pure heart do not focus their thoughts in their own hearts, but hold them in the word of God." So like if you have a pure heart, you're not gonna like sit there and obsess with yourself. If you've ever read my book, this is from my book exactly. It's like exactly what's in my book. I got it from Hinduism. You just don't want to you don't want to like pray like I need this, I want this, I'm sad, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this. Like you want to like think about other people. It makes you less miserable. "Those who have, however, who toil in the midst of worldly concerns, who do not ask for anything except how to pass through the present life, these do focus their thoughts in their own hearts. As for example, if you see a person thinking about nothing other than the business of the world, in corporeal profits and abundance of..." Yeah, I'm sorry I made you read through that whole section. I'm not going to keep going. Oh crap, we got to read this because it's talking about humans. And let's start at the top. Human from the house of Israel. "We all, as human beings, were born human, but we are not all humans. As I have very often remarked on what is written in Leviticus, human of the sons of Israel, or of the foreigners who have been..." I feel like he's just like trying to make sure that I figure it out, because he knows what I'm gonna read when I like figure out that it's him, and I'm gonna immediately read the commentary on Ezekiel, and then I'm gonna go, "Oh, they're calling them humans." Like, no, you're a human. I'm a human. You're a human. Let's see what he says anyway. So I'm gonna go with the "let us" part, which is like 5 lines down. "Let us demonstrate from the scriptures how some people are not truly humans. A human being placed in a position of honor does not have understanding. He is compared to the senseless beasts of burden and is likened to them. That man is not a human, but a human beast of burden. You progeny of vipers, children of vipers, who told you to flee from the wrath to come. Such a one is not a human, but a serpent human. They became horses going mad after women. Each one was neighing at the wife of his neighbor. That sort of man is not a human, but a human horse. Therefore, let it be far from us to be the sort of people who deserve to be told we are not truly humans, but something else apart from human. For if we are gentle and good, we double the term human, such that in our case there is not simply a human being, but a human being." Okay, so we would be the human beings, and then they would be the human beings? I don't know. "Now consider whether we are able to discover that it is that would double the term human, when that human is which is exterior is human, while that human which is interior is a serpent. Then what there is in our case is not a human, but only a human. When, however, the interior human too continues steadfastly in accordance with the image of the Creator, then a human is born, and such a person becomes, in terms of the outer and inner human, a human. Furthermore, if anyone who has been called to become a human focuses his own thoughts in his own heart and his own punishment before his own face, and comes to the prophet and says, I, the Lord, shall answer him in regards to these things with which his mind is occupied, then this part is censored clearly. Like the thought's not finished. Like Saint Jerome is not much of a saint. So we've got the person I allege is Luke, the doctor from the Bible, writing as Origen. Let's see what Origen wants to say right here. Number 2, the passage before us teaches us how we ought to respond to individuals, not to apply unsuitable medicines, but to bring forth whatever medicines are appropriate, given the characteristics of the disease present. Mark what I am saying. Suppose that 10 people go to a doctor having 10 different kinds of illnesses. He does not cure them all in the same way. Instead, he heals one by means of this or that plaster. For example, another he treats with a different kind of medicine. A few he cauterizes. One he regulates by means of a bitter drink. Another by means of a sweet drink. He smears the wound of one with a fatty ointment. The word of God also speaks in this way, in keeping with the characteristics of the human listener. He does not bring out the sacred mysteries of his wisdom indiscriminately. Wow. He does not bring out the sacred mysteries of his wisdom indiscriminately. He therefore says, I shall answer him in regards to these things with which his mind is occupied, that is, so that I may cure those things with which his mind is occupied, so that he will not cause the house of Israel to stray. Whatever teacher does not present himself as an example of a good life, but walks askew, that one through his own depravity, as he bends in a direction he ought not, in a certain way causes all the people of God to stray in accordance with their hearts, which have become estranged to me. And one who does in accordance with a heart estranged from God does this in his own thoughts. I'm going to stop real quick. So, like, everyone in the Christian church sure wanted to kill Nazareth, like where all the Christians are, because for the Jews, like, which is like the whole religion's against, like, Judaism. Like, that's your whole freaking religion 2,000 years ago. But then you're going, these people made it 2,000 years to get here, and you're happy about it. That's who, like, we're on their side for sure. For this reason, a response is given to them in the matter of these things with which their heart is occupied, and it is said, say to the house of Israel, thus says Adonai the Lord, be converted and turn yourselves away from your pursuits. It is because he promised to say those things with which their heart is occupied that now, as though the speaking to sinners, he says, be converted and turn yourselves away from your pursuits and turn away from your faces. Does he not appear to you to be doing this? Your faces have been made firm upon what they ought not. Turn them around and make them firm on that which would be beneficial to you. So what is the Jewish people about now? Money and power. Like, that is all that church is. Like, there is very, very, very little, like, actual wisdom. I'm doing 3. For this reason, human from the house of Israel and from the proselytes who come to Israel, whoever has become estranged. It can happen that even a human, whether one who was created a human or one who was rendered a human through his own progress, may become estranged, since according to this same Ezekiel, a righteous person too is sometimes converted away from his righteousness and sins. Therefore, if a human of this kind places his own thoughts in his own heart and the punishment of his own iniquity before his own face, and it comes to the prophet to inquire of him about me, then I, the Lord, he says, shall answer him in regard to that very thing with which he is occupied, and I shall make firm my face against that man. Observe how at first he promises to answer with forbearance, and then how, if the person went back and was not cured by the former words, I shall make firm my face upon that man, and I shall put him into the desert. For if he does not obey the words of warning, but instead continues steadfast in his offense, I shall put him into the desert and into destruction. I shall remove him from the midst of my people. Do not take us away, omnipotent God, from the midst of your people, but preserve us within your people. One who does things deserving of ejection, however, is justly cast out, so that he is taken away from the people of God and rooted out of it and handed over to Satan. So here's him saying God is omnipotent, and that was like very, very early in the church. I'm going to just summarize this final section. Like, I think this is a warning to us. Like, people that are clones like me, like you will not get like brought back like if you aren't doing a good job at your life.